everyone, and welcome. We're going to do a focused explainer here, designed to help you really master the legal and quality assurance concepts that are super important for your NHA CPT exam. We're going to break down exactly what you need to know to protect your patients, your career, and of course, to nail those test questions.
Okay, let's kick things off with something the NHA literally calls a critical error. This right here. This is the absolute foundation of your entire practice. It's not just some rule, it's a hard line in the sand. Honestly, understanding this one sentence is the key to everything else we're about to cover.
You know, as a phlebotomist, you're not just dealing with needles and tubes. Not at all. You're operating inside a pretty strict legal framework that comes with a ton of responsibility. Getting this is absolutely essential, both for keeping your patients safe and for building a long, successful career for yourself.
Now, this slide is really interesting because it clearly separates the two kinds of legal trouble you could potentially face. On one side, you've got civil law. That's all about one person seeking compensation for harm. Think of it like a private dispute. But on the other side, you have criminal law. That's for actions that threaten public safety, and it can involve serious punishments like fines or even jail time.
So that civil wrong we were just talking about, the official legal term for it is a tort. And for your exam, you definitely need to know the main types of torts, because they love to pop up in those scenario-based questions. Basically, it's any action that steps on a patient's fundamental rights.
First up, we have assault. And here's the key thing to remember. Assault isn't the physical contact itself. Nope, it's the threat of it. So, for example, if you say to a nervous patient, if you don't hold still, I'll have to get someone to hold you down, well, you've just committed assault. You've created that fear of unwanted contact.
And here it is. This is the big one that ties right back to that quote we started with. Battery. This is the action that follows the threat. Performing a venipuncture after a patient has clearly told you no or stop. That's a textbook case of battery. It doesn't matter if you did a perfect draw. Without their consent, it's illegal. Period.
Okay, so let's shift gears a bit and talk about unintentional errors. Negligence is what happens when you fail to provide what's called the standard of care. You know, what any other reasonable phlebotomist would do. Mislabeling a specimen is a classic example. You didn't mean to do it, but that mistake fell below the professional standard everyone expects.
And this is a great way to see the difference between simple negligence and malpractice. See, malpractice is a higher level of negligence. It's an error made by a trained professional in their specific field. A random person on the street can't commit medical malpractice. Causing nerve damage because you didn't follow the CLSI guidelines for finding a vein, that's malpractice.
So all of these legal ideas we've covered, assault, battery, negligence, they all hinge on one single core interaction, consent. This isn't just about getting a signature on a form. It's an active conversation, and it is the golden rule of our profession. You have to get it right before your hands-on technical work can even begin.
Think of this list right here as your legal armor, your bulletproof vest, really. This is your litigation prevention checklist for every single patient, every single time. Following these steps without fail, including the safety standards from big players like OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, is your strongest, most reliable defense if anything ever goes sideways.
All right, exam tip time. You have to know the different kinds of consent. So let's use this mnemonic, EIIHMR. That's for expressed, implied, informed, HIV-specific, consent for minors, and how to handle a refusal. Seriously, drilling this will help you tear through those tricky scenario questions on the exam. Okay, so we've been talking a lot about one-on-one patient interactions. Let's zoom out a bit now and look at the bigger picture, the systems that are in place to make sure everything is safe and reliable across your entire workplace. This is the world of quality assurance.
Okay, this one is huge for the exam, so listen up. Let's make it simple. Quality assurance, or QA, is the proactive, big-picture plan. It's like the architect's blueprint for safe practice. It's writing the procedures, training the staff. Then you have quality control, or QC. That's the daily check-in. It's the inspection that proves the blueprint is actually working, like checking fridge temps or the expiration dates on your tubes.
So what happens when things don't go according to that blueprint? Well, that's where incident reporting comes in. And the goal here, and this is so important, it is not about pointing fingers or getting someone in trouble. It's all about finding the weak spots in the system so we can make it better for everyone.
I really want you to get this concept. A near miss, catching that mislabeled tube right before it leaves the room, that is not a failure. It's a gift. It's a free lesson that shows you exactly where your process has a crack in it, and it gives you a chance to fix it before any patient ever gets hurt.
So when you're filling out one of these reports, you have to be like a detective. Just the facts. No opinions, no feelings about what happened, just what you saw and did. Capturing these key details, the who, what, where, when, and how, is what lets the team do a real investigation to find the root cause of the problem.
All right, we're almost there. Let's talk about your ultimate shield, your best protection against any kind of liability. And it's not some fancy insurance policy, it's your daily habits. It's all about meticulous documentation and sticking to those established professional standards like glue.
Okay, this table right here, this is pure gold for your exam prep. Seriously. It boils down the most common traps you can fall into and connects each one directly to the single best way to prevent it. Study these pairs. These are the high-stakes scenarios that are really likely to show up on your test.
So if you remember one thing from all of this, what should it be? It's this: your professional habits. When you do them the right way and document them accurately every single time, that is what truly protects you and your patients. It's that proactive, daily discipline that acts as your ultimate defense.
So as we wrap this up and you get ready for your next patient, whether you're in clinicals or you're already on the job, I want you to keep this powerful question in the front of your mind. Let it guide every single decision you make, because answering it correctly will steer you towards safe, professional, and legally solid care every single time.